Welcome, viewers, to another fabulous episode of Unapologetically Free. Now, today I am going to talk about what to do when someone lets you down. Now, this is a question by Henry Russell. So, here goes. First up, the first line of action that you can do when someone lets you down is discipline that person. Put another way, punish the person for this behavior, whatever it is, of letting you down. So, because the question is rather vague, I wouldn't know the extent to which what letting you down means. But the idea and principle of discipline remains the same. Set up certain standards around yourself that no one can or should cross. For example, in terms of punctuality, make sure you state your expectations that you want people to be punctual, and if they cross that line, deal with it. For another example, there are some people in my life that when I talk to them, they may perhaps roll their eyes at me, and immediately I would call it out, point it out. I make it uncomfortable, I make it painful, but I show them that there is a line that they cannot cross, and very seldom do they cross that line again. Be willing to punish bad behavior. Now, of course, if what you mean by letting you down refers to something deeper, such as a betrayal of a friendship, then it could require another set of action. But in general, what you realize is that some people are easier to let down and to be taken advantage of, while for some other people, not so. And the main difference between the two groups is that one group is willing to exert punishment if you cross certain lines, while the other group just simply lets the other people step over them. Now, the main goal is not so much to be vengeful, to take revenge, but is to draw certain boundaries that you know people cannot cross. And in fact, people will respect you when you stick to those standards and to those boundaries. So learn to maintain standards, and people will realize that you are a man of principles and stop trying to mess with you. Now, the second thing that you can do that is totally in your control to do is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is crucial in the sense that you stop allowing the baggage of revenge, of self-pity, and of sadness to continue to affect you. So instead, when you choose to forgive, you allow certain emotional healing to come in you, especially if the person that you have this who let you down is no longer that accessible in your life. So in your heart, forgive that person and just move on in your life. In my view, however, you can and should forgive for your own well-being, but don't forget. Learn the lesson. If people take advantage of you, if people let you down, ask yourself, why is this happening? So even while you forgive and allow the emotions to heal, always learn the lessons that you have to learn. In general, human beings are creatures of habit, and I personally don't advocate allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. So stand your ground while you choose to forgive. Allow yourself the space and to learn this lesson of what went wrong, and don't repeat the set of actions that lead to that outcome of being let down by other people. If the true case of the scenario is that you really have no fault, which honestly, trust me, you definitely played a role to people letting you down, because I do know people who manage relationships so well. It is not that likely for someone like that, someone who adds a lot of value, someone who is really important in other people's lives, to be let down by other people. So the last point I want to talk about is whichever route you choose, be it discipline or forgiveness, one of the key principles that you want to have is to be direct. Whether forgiveness or discipline, don't fall into the trap of being passive aggressive or perhaps talking behind the back of other people, of stating your expectations indirectly. Either point out directly what you're unhappy about, or choose to forgive and move on with whoever and whatever let you down. Now, the truth is, not all conflicts and minor irritation requires a full-blown confrontation. And if you would be willing to forgive from your heart, it makes your life easier. It really does. Because if you nurse this hatred, if you nurse these emotions and feelings, honestly, the one that is going to be suffering is you. But in the back of your mind, learn the lesson and don't forget what it is in the first place, or whatever contributed to the situation that first resulted in you being let down. Now, I hope you like this video. If you do, comment, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you again.